Friends, welcome to Mind and Intellect Conversations, an important topic acceptance. Let's understand what non acceptance of a situation or a person or a life experience does. Many people suffer in life. Most people go through stress and strain in life because of non acceptance. And they have made their life so difficult. As a result, acceptance appears an impossible task. Most people don't develop acceptance, therefore they compromise. Most people don't understand people, therefore they judge. This episode is designed to help each one of you to develop this rare but the most important quality called acceptance. So stay tuned. It's a very important learning. You can't afford to miss it.
What is acceptance?
Right. See, acceptance is appears a very simple word, but it's a loaded statement. It is acceptance is our potential to embrace a situation, any experience, and the people whom we relate with as they are and not what you want them to be. That's what acceptance is. I repeat, acceptance is our innate potential or an earned potential to embrace situations, experiences, and people whom we relate with as they are, not what you want them to be. So that's acceptance in simple terms, straightforward. Acceptance manifests as a positive attitude and a refined response. You'll always find those who have inculcated this quality of acceptance, they always have a positive attitude. I've seen people going through cancer and they still have a positive attitude about life. Whatever time is left, they have a positive attitude and there is a refined response. So, this is what acceptance does. And what is not acceptance? Acceptance is not submission, acceptance is not weakness. It is an acknowledgement of facts of a situation, of a person. Then once you are acknowledge, once you are aware and acknowledge the facts, the nature of a person, then you can make the right choice. So in fact, acceptance is most important. Why I'm telling you, as we started, non-acceptance is not a choice. Acceptance is only choice. There's a beautiful statement: a wise man does immediately what a fool does it at the end. Wise man does immediately what a fool does it in the end. In the sense, if we don't develop this quality of acceptance, we are in for trouble. I'm saying from the simple aspect of a traffic jam, we drove to this podcast place together. At time non-acceptance, it creates unnecessary stress. And my guru, you know him well, Swami Parthasadigaru, he says all problems are internal. He says, let's have a debate. He will not, at least at this age, he's 99. But those days, when he was much younger, when I say younger, he was 70. He used to have, let's have a debate. All problems are internal. All happiness is also internal. If you say happiness external, yes, pleasure could be external. Happiness is internal. Peace is internal. Stress is internal. Absolutely, stress is internal. So, why I'm telling you, acceptance is that quality in an individual. Once they develop this quality, that's why acceptance is an effect, spiritual journey, your effort, your consistency, Shraddha, all these are all the cause you put in. Acceptance is an effect you embrace. And non-acceptance, I'm telling you, makes a person's life miserable. So eventually I'm saying something like death has to be accepted. If you don't accept it, just imagine till the time you're there, you're going to make your life and others' life miserable. From a simple aspect to the most profound experience in our life, you don't have a choice but to develop acceptance. Spirituality, Vedanta, your effort paves the way for this humongous quality in us. You'll always find those whoever has peace within themselves. And that says peace is a byproduct of a very powerful acceptance. Everybody wants to be peaceful. But my guru used to say, you get what you deserve, not what you desire. You may desire peace, you may desire freedom, but you will get what you deserve. But you are put in that right cause. You worked on yourself well, and you've been consistent. You're not giving up. The resultant effect is acceptance. And whoever has acceptance, this quality of it's not passive, it's a very powerful state. You are fully in the moment. You embrace the moment with with its fullness. When I say fullness, you're childlike. There is a lot of innocence and laughter, joy in it. So my aspect is my suggestion and a wish for each and everyone is, look here, you don't have a choice but to develop acceptance. There are people in this. Forgiveness is what is acceptance eventually. You may forgive after 25 years. There's this statement, I mean, forgiveness is to set the prisoner free and to finally understand the prisoner was none other than yourself. So, therefore, that's why this quality of acceptance is a must. Only a human being can have it, can experience it. So that's, I mean, whatever ways which helps you to develop acceptance, go ahead, fulfill it. See, many people go through it. In simple terms, at times when you reacted in an aggressive manner, not in an emotional way or an aggressive manner, and you regret your own choice. Our intellect was available after the action, not while performing or before. See, at times certain uh, life learnings is in the form of information. It's not a transformation. It is the that's why I say the advantage of the path of Vedanta or self development is we will fall, but we'll fall like a tennis ball. You will bounce back faster. You're not going to fall like a hot potato.
Yeah.
So the fact that you're asking a questions, at times I falter. What happens? You have noticed, you become more aware of your own reaction. I could have done, I could have given a refined response, but I had an aggressive reaction. You wouldn't have done much, but it could be the reaction within your mind and intellect. So the more and more you become aware, the less is the possibility of you acting in an aggressive manner, and slowly you'll be, even before a situation, you're able to assess the situation, and as a result, there's no surprises. Many of the problems is you're taken by surprise, mind freezes, and it doesn't know, so it reacts in a certain way because it has not anticipated it. If we're coming here, if you're 20 minutes and then it takes 40 minutes, you've not anticipated. Mind gets annoyed. Let's take that right and let's the whole aspect. Having got into the car, somehow we'll reach. That's why he said it's near this Darusami bridge or whatever. Then it's easy. So, the moment you're taken by surprise, your thinking almost collapses. Your clarity is not available to you. It's not enough. You have some clarity. At that time, it's not available because the mind is excited, and when the mind subsides, "Arey yaar, why did I react that way? That's not me." The regret comes in. So, but the best part is there are 9 out of 10 they react aggressively without even knowing they're doing it. But at least here, once that awareness comes in,
Right.
we do falter. But the more and more that intellect comes in, and then it keeps you on the right track, it analyzes, assesses situations, and as a result, there's no surprises. When there's no surprises, you are able to deal with it in a better way. So that's why I'm saying acceptance is the only choice. But so much effort goes into it to a state of effortlessness. If you can, if you can handle it well, it's a lot of effort, but it will lead to effortless acceptance. If you can, that's what we are all designed. We're all designed towards it. See, a genuine smile comes in when there is acceptance.
Correct.
If non-acceptance, you will smile because you have to. So genuine smile comes in where there is acceptance. So I hope it answers. And in simple terms, more you become aware, less is the affectation.
Yes.
And when you become acutely aware, then there is no problem. You've anticipated it. See, you're not expecting anything negative, but you anticipated it. Therefore, there's no surprises. Your mind doesn't act funny. You are in control, and you are able to give out a refined response.
So, in short, if every day I train my mind
Yes,
on acceptance,
right,
saying that if I will accept the day
right,
as is.
right. See, when I say you can make in areas where you can make a change, make the change.
Okay.
In areas where you can't make a change, accept it.
Yeah.
And in areas where you think you can't accept it, you got to remove yourself from it.
Correct.
So that's the choice you make.
Yeah.
You are training, you're using your intellect and training the mind. I'm not saying accept everything.
Correct.
In areas where you can't change it, accept it. In areas where you can change it.
Yeah.
Change it. It is we are driving towards don't take the left, we can take a right. You can so where you can change it, because then it becomes better. In certain aspect you can't change it,
Correct.
whether you can't change it,
I know.
accept it. And in certain scenarios where you, that doesn't resonate with you, remove yourself from it.
Yeah.
You could be in a group and they are gossiping about others, or they're talking ill about others, and you don't want to be a part of it. You don't need to accept it. You can remove yourself from it.
Yeah. Distance yourself.
Yes, I mean, when I said because that's not your character. I mean, I don't want to be a part of it. So it is nothing but using your intellect, training the mind consistently, whereby in situations you're using intellect, which is eventually acceptance.
Correct.
And once you do it, once that acceptance in simple aspects is there, and a little more important aspects in life, there are many more things in life you have to accept. Not many have accepted life as such.
Yes.
If they have accepted life as such, there's a statement like life is beautiful. This present moment is all that you have. But how many of us live in the present moment? How many of us consider life as beautiful? Most of us, they say, those were the days.
Yes.
It is you were riding a bicycle, all that, but now we are traveling in swanky cars, but still those were the days. So that's why we say any form of spiritual journey a person is, it should manifest as acceptance. If there is non-acceptance, I'm sure there'll be. If the proportion, if it was 30% acceptance, 70% non-acceptance, in the journey, the 30 should become 50. 50 should become 60, or in the 7, it should progress in your spiritual journey. And then there are always going to be some areas of non-acceptance. It is, it's so that has to, you need to have much more effort for it. But if you started at 30 and it has become 20, there's something wrong. Slowly in this journey, there's a lot of things you accept. Which means a lot of, people, situations, life's experiences you're able to accept. Some, in certain aspects, you're able to change. Some aspects you remove yourself from it. That's your level of acceptance. I can't be a part of gossip. I don't want people to. I can't be listening to people talking ill of others. No, you remove yourself. That's so you don't accept. It's not non-acceptance. You can't be a party to negative talk.
Correct.
That doesn't. You don't. You don't prefer that.
Right.
So it is essential. Ji. It is the more and more acceptance comes in, easier life is. Easier life is. Children have this acceptance unconsciously. That's the reason they are in the present. Very unconsciously. You will see them, they may fight with the mother the previous day. Next day, they are embracing the mother and talking to the parents. Yesterday, I was a negative devil. Now you come and hug me and I'll do all that. Nakra and all that. The child has no memory of it.
Yes.
So they are unconsciously experiencing acceptance. But what to do? We become so-called intelligent people,
Yes.
and non-acceptance is there. So you got to be careful.
Thank you. Thank you so much. What is the difficulties to practice
Accept.
acceptance?
The difficult, see, why acceptance becomes difficult is, if you observe, is because of an indisciplined mind and an inflated ego. You will always find a person who has an inflated ego, and they can't accept. And at the same indisciplined mind, they can't accept. So what we're saying is, it doesn't help them to make the right choices, and we have to understand what the mind is. Because that's the important learning. Mind is where your emotions, your thoughts arise, your feelings, your likes and dislikes, good and bad. That is your mind, my mind. Impulses. So that's what, everyone's mind is. And the mind is equated to a child. And here the intellect. Intellect is your buddhi, mind is the manas. Mind is also, in poetic terms, is equated to the heart. Intellect is the head. And intellect is where your clarity arises, where there is conscious thinking, where there's rationality, where there is reasoning in the right ways. And this is the intellect. Ego is the dangerous one. See, where most people use the mind and the intellect to develop intelligence. Intelligence is in a field of activity. A person is a exceptional financial analyst. They've used their mind and they use the intellect to develop proficiency in a particular field of activity. So, this is intelligence. A person could be a great heart surgeon, or could be a fantastic mechanic of sports cars. It's a expertise in a field of activity. You use your mind and intellect to develop intelligence. The worst part is, when you use the mind and intelligence, you develop ego. You have the intelligence that you have achieved this much, and the mind is along with it. When you use your mind and intelligence, you develop ego. Ego is the need and necessity to prove that I am better than everyone. We have that expansion for the word ego, exaggerated glorification of oneself. That is ego. So when a person functions on their ego and their mind, it will result to non-acceptance, because an egoistic person wants their life to function to be conducted in a certain way. The mind wants the world to cater to them in a certain way. And the world is not designed for one person. We may want to come here in 10 minutes, but with all the construction and the traffic, it will take its own time. So, mind and an indisciplined mind is not the problem. It is the indisciplined mind which is the problem. The mind which is disciplined will take up to much better things. The ego in the form of self-esteem is fine, but self-important, it destroys an individual. So, what we are saying is, the acceptance has become almost an impossible quality for 9 out of 10 because of their own indisciplined mind and their own inflated ego. So, and who's the sufferer here? The individual who has who has an indisciplined mind and a inflated ego. Such a person suffers, and therefore, don't give in to that. We need guidance. We need support. They say, if you want to develop yourself, have enough and more people whom you look up to. If you want to develop your ego, have enough and more people who look up to you only. So it's all because of you, sir. They promote your ego.
Yes.
It doesn't help. So acceptance has become a very difficult quality. These are the major reasons. The other reason is selfishness. You'll always find a person who's very selfish finds it very difficult to accept. An unselfish person finds it easier to accept. A selfless person, they live in a state of acceptance. The more selfish a person is, greater is the difficulty to accept.
Why is acceptance difficult in a family scenario?
It's a very important question, because across the strata, from a lower income group or the middle class to the upper middle class, or the elite section in the financial in a segment, everyone goes through it. The major issue is emotions are involved. The emotions are involved. Number one, a lot of it is, and then there is a fear in the minds of the parent. What if it doesn't work out? And the third is there is not enough trust in their son, in their child. Enough trust. I don't think he's capable. He's cut out for it. I don't think he's cut out for it. And the third, for the say, is the ego. My idea, and he's refusing. He or she is refusing. So this is where, if the parents, especially parents, should have trust in their children. They should have faith and trust in their children. That, see, that's when once they have, I mean, they have a conversation, but the conversation is they understand, is it a feeble interest or a serious passion, a serious interest. Once they understand that, and if they go through the discussion in such a way that they identify that their child has done the enough and more hard work, research and hard work in that aspect, therefore they identified it. Whatever, I'm talking predominantly on profession or business. I'm not talking about their choice of partner. That's another discussion altogether. But a lot of issue happens in choosing a field of activity. Just because a father is a noted surgeon doesn't mean that the son also should, or that son or daughter also should become a surgeon. They may want to be a professor in a university. So this is where a genuine, open-minded discussion happens, and they are able to listen, and then they say a benefit of doubt is given to them, not like suspicion, that they are keen. And eventually every parent is interested in the well-being, happiness and peace of their child. No parent is says, no, you have to do this, and eventually they don't want to see their child being miserable. you know at this aspect, peace is very important. They understand this is the he's going to be happy, peaceful doing this. Then and they have that intellect comes in. There is enough reasoning in it, enough reasoning that they have analyzed it. Maybe that's what it is. And the other aspect, even if they falter, the parents have to have that compassion to embrace them and help them out. That's the role of a parent. And if any parent has that quality, I'm telling you that their child will be grateful forever in their life. Because this shows the parents' level of acceptance. Parents' level of acceptance is highlighted. Many people, there is non-acceptance. They think if he does it, if my son or daughter does it, then it's a good profession. So therefore, what we are saying is, listen to them. It is Khalil Gibran in his book Prophet. There's one chapter on parenting, on children. One of the most profound pieces of philosophical literature I have ever read. Every parent, that's a necessary learning. He says, they come through you, not from you. You belong to them. They don't belong to you, in the sense that they try to be like them, don't make them like you. And he goes on and on. It's like one whole page, but fantastic. So you got to set aside your emotions to deal with your children at a certain stage. Set aside your emotions, weak emotions. Set aside your ego. Listen to them carefully. Listen to them carefully. Don't make a choice immediately. And then consult few others whom you think are wise enough in that, and then make an informed choice, refined choice. Because some of the parents are not even receptive. Straight away on the face they reject. That doesn't work.
Yeah.
So this is where set aside your emotions, set aside your ego. Now the intellect is there, it's open-minded, therefore you listen. And then now you start get your thinking cap, and you're thinking, and then maybe you consult with few people whom you think are wise, and then take an informed, and then make a refined, informed choice. Then the friction will be less. It will save a very precious relationship between the parent and the child. I have known many parents forcing their children to do certain things, and it doesn't work out beyond a point.
Right.
So, in this regard, I have a question to you. I mean, your son, our great Devansh, has now joined the Vedanta Academy, uh, and it is a choice he made and you embraced, and that's the place I studied as well. There was this question which most people ask me: what happens when you're in a state of non-acceptance? Why 9 out of 10 are going through it? I mean, it is non-acceptance is normal for most people. In
Yes.
fact, they're not many are aware they are struggling. They're going through stress because of non-acceptance. They highlight stress. They highlight the difficulties they're going through in life, but they don't say, "I guess there could be some non-acceptance." If that thinking comes in, the whole thing changes. But it is that's why we keep highlighting. It's difficult to develop acceptance. Therefore, most people choose to resort to compromise. It's difficult to understand. Therefore, most people judge. That's why the when a person is in a state of non-acceptance, one of the the dangerous part is they get into a some people, not everyone, get into a state of compromise. And compromise is a loaded, terrible word. Some people say life means compromise, relationship means compromise. We use compromise in a certain way. Compromise is a state of mind a person has when they're given to a situation, when they submit themselves helplessly to a person or an environment because that's the only choice they seem to have at that moment. For them, coming out is not an option.
Right.
Coming out, moving out is not an option. Therefore, they helplessly submit themselves. They're given to a situation because they don't have any other avenue. This is the pitfalls of non-acceptance. Compromise also means the situation or the person or a life experience are overpowering you, and then you don't have the potential to control the outcome or the person. We compromise. That's why when coming out, moving out is not an option, and non-acceptance is not a possibility for you. I can't be in it. I can't come out of it. Therefore, they compromise. It's a product of a weak intellect and a submissive mind. All that I'm saying is observe a person who's in a state of non-acceptance and got into a state of compromise. It is dangerous. It could be. You can compromise on anything. You can compromise on your work. You can compromise on your partner. You can compromise on the place you live. Anything you compromise, you'll find that they carry themselves in a very negative way. When I say carry themselves in a negative way, number one hit compromise, non-acceptance does is there's a lack of enthusiasm, no initiative, anything. There's a get together this evening. A lot of people coming. What are you gonna wear? Whatever is there, just pick up and wear. That's a disadvantages of compromise, or the negative aspects of non-acceptance. You'll find there's a lack of energy, or no energy due to a lack of enthusiasm. It is a person who compromise. It could be at work. There is no initiative. He has to go to work because he's got bills to pay.
Correct.
There is no initiative. There is no inspiration. There's no motivation. Nothing. He goes up waiting. 5 o'clock means 4:30 onwards waiting. 4:50 he's jittery. 4:55 he's got up. 5 is out because they compromise. He may want to do. He wants to be, take up to music, but now he is in a law firm. Therefore, the people compromise. It is non-acceptance of what they are in. They compromise. It is another one is, when a person compromises, there is a refusal to put in effort because, according to that person, they think there's no point in putting in effort. Nothing's going to change. It could be at work or it could be in a relationship. Even if I put in effort, he or she is not going to change. They're going to remain that way. So what to do? So yeah, better is to just keep quiet. So refusal to put in effort. Eventually, non-acceptance and compromise leads to a state of loneliness. That's a killer. Loneliness, you'll always find a person who's in a state of non acceptance and compromise, especially in relationships. They experience loneliness. And loneliness, let me tell you, is going to be one of the major issues. Major issues. These days, even children are experiencing loneliness. I feel very lonely. I said, for what? The 10, 12-year-old people are saying, I'm feeling very lonely. Loneliness is a state of mind where you could be living in big cities, you could be having a lot of friends, physically and and all on social media. But the thought is nobody understands me in the way I want to be understood. Nobody accepts me in the way I want to be accepted. A lonely person, eventually they want to be accepted. It is because of their non-acceptance they feel lonely. So the state of non-acceptance and compromise is one. It is this, and then another one is a person who's in non-acceptance, in a state of non-acceptance, will lose faith and trust in people. They don't have trust. They don't have faith in people. He's also trying to eke out something from me. There's a lack of trust and faith in people, which makes them miserable. There's always, when you lack trust and faith in a person, there is always suspicion. Why is this person so trying to get close to me? What does he want? What does she want? I'm not saying you should blindly accept others, but where there is non-acceptance and compromise, your natural state is you can't trust others. It is there's no faith in others, and finally, or they are just surviving in their life. They are not striving in their life, and you got to be careful. It is compromise. According to my guru, is never an option. Embracing it, cherishing it is a great option. Compromise, anything you compromise, you find lack of enthusiasm, no initiative, no effort. I can imagine how and the quality of life can be terrible. This you're talking about the stages
Stages.
in the practice
Yeah.
of acceptance.
Yeah.
Uh, yes, there are stages, and if you observe, we are moving from non-acceptance to acceptance. The first stage is denial, absolute state of non-acceptance. It is how can that happen to me? That denial. How can that happen to me? I've done everything, but there's denial. How can that happen? A lot of emotions goes through, and that's a bitterness, anger, or all that goes through. That's why the first stage is denial. They simply cannot accept what's happening. Second stage is inflated emotions, which is anger in this context. Anger and fear, or you can negative emotions. First is denial, second is negative emotion. Why is this happening to me? First is how can that happen to me? Denial. Second is anger is why is this happening to me? I'm a God's good own person, but how can this happen to me? That's why I say rituals are important, but it should be backed by knowledge. Mere rituals will help you up to a point. Knowledge and rituals may do wonders to your person. So the second stage is confusing emotions. All anger, fear, all that thing. And you become jealous of others. The stages, these two are the pinnacle of non-acceptance. Then you get tired of it. The mind gets tired and weak. And they says, what to do? I have to live with these things. Now in the third stage in towards acceptance, bargaining. You bargain with yourself. No, what should I do? And that's when you decide to put whom should I contact? What is the process? You start bargaining. Your intellect is bargaining with your mind. It's bargaining. No, I think you have to work on yourself. But I don't trust this person. Or, no, I don't like his or her demeanor or views, and so you are bargaining. Then this is when your mind is slightly open. And when you listen to a person or read a book, it resonates with you. It speaks to you. The third stage is bargaining. And the next stage is, the bargaining is a stage where you're willing to put in effort. You're willing. First two stage, denial, anger, there's no effort. There's only complaint. There's only blaming others. The third is your bargaining is we are willing to put in effort. The fourth stage is in towards acceptance is tolerance. You are able to tolerate a situation. You're able to tolerate a person. But again, tolerance has a threshold. Up to a point you can tolerate. You can't tolerate 100%.
Correct.
So the tolerate means that's all I can tolerate. Would say you're going too much. This is becoming too much. So tolerance is there is acceptance, but the mind up to a point it can tolerate. And the last stage is acceptance, where there's total peace, where the intellect is completely aware, and that's why the unrealistic expectations, only problems. What do you call reasonable expectations, reasonable peace. Unrealistic expectations, only problems. Right expectations, total peace.
Right.
Or let me say no expectations, total peace.
Right.
It's difficult to have no expectations, but when you have a right assessment, you don't fall a victim to it. So these are all questions which we all should sit and think. Blaise Pascal makes a beautiful statement. He said, all suffering of humanity can be eradicated if an individual is willing to sit in a place quietly and think.
Right.
Not many of us think. First of all, to sit in a place quietly is difficult.
Yes.
Within a few minutes, you are fidgety. You want to see what messages come or notifications on social media. It's very difficult to sit in a place quietly and then think. That's what your son is doing there. Sitting in a place quietly and thinking. Maybe there'll be a lot of clarity which comes in.
Yes.
So, stages is first denial, then anger, 2 stages of non-acceptance, then comes bargaining, where the intellect says, hey, you can't continue this way. You will destroy yourself. And they don't want to be that way. So the intellect comes into existence there. And then comes the tolerance, where you are putting in effort, but there is a threshold. Finally comes acceptance.
Yes.
Finally comes acceptance because you understand that's the only choice I have. Many people think I have a choice with forgiveness. Not forgiving, they think is a choice. See, what they say is you should forgive others, but don't forget what has happened. So eventually the intellect becomes stronger with the right satsang and thinking. You'll always find acceptance is total. Total. All these great masters you have seen, they have accepted anything and everything. Christ accepted being nailed to the cross. He says, what can I do? He says, Father, forgive them, they know not what they do. Christ accepted the whole thing. Christ accepted what Judas did to him.
Yes.
He was not annoyed. It is, you will find even in our Puranas, there's so many experiences of powerful acceptance.
Yes.
Absolutely. Powerful acceptance equals peace. Fulfillment of a desire gives happiness. A person wants to buy a Louis Vuitton bag or a Berkeley bag, and they bought it. They're happy. But when you rise above the desire for handbag, you are peaceful. Anything is fine. What you have in the bag is more important than what bag you may have.
Yes.
So it is. So therefore, denial, anger are the stage of non-acceptance. Then comes bargaining, where you're turning introvert. Then comes tolerance, where there is acceptance, but up to a certain point. Then comes total acceptance, whereby once you're in that state, there's nothing more to add, nothing more to reduce. It appears perfect. You understand and accept the world as it is, not what you want them to be. The process involved, if you observe, first aspect in this is awareness. Most people are in a state of non-acceptance because there's no awareness of the situation. of themselves. That's why an indisciplined mind and inflated ego doesn't create awareness. It is only aware of why certain things are happening. It is only aware of the agitations, not the root cause of agitation. So, first is awareness. We say at AAA standard, first is awareness, second is assessment, third is acceptance. Awareness is when you can't change anything externally, you're compelled to change everything internally. When you can't change certain things externally, you're compelled to change everything internally. Therefore, that's why we keep highlighting only when you improve the quality of your thoughts and emotions, your quality of responses and choices improves. If I don't improve the quality of my thoughts and emotions, that which interacts with my mind and intellect is not improved. I mean, the quality of thoughts are not improved. How can their responses be proper? The mind is indisciplined. How can it have a measured response? So, number one, when we can't change anything externally, we are compelled to change everything internally. That's where the power lies. Then, when you improve on the quality of thoughts and emotions, your quality of responses, your choices improves. This is awareness. Then it says, then with awareness you take responsibility for your. I make myself responsible for all the choices I make and all the choices I refuse to make. No, it is you make yours that awareness creates that responsibility. Then the second A, which is assessment. Assessment is not. Let me tell you, assessment is not being judgmental. Assessment is not. I mean, it is not being negative. So, assessment. It's interesting is we have to understand. Assess when we say assess, understand their qualities, their nature, every aspect of. See, we are constantly dealing with the world of people and objects. You got to understand and assess people periodically, not once in a way, periodically. When you are able to do that, then there's no surprises. See, it is when you go for a safari, you spot a tiger and you admire a tiger. You admire the ferocity of a tiger, but you're not going to go near a tiger and embrace a tiger
Right.
because you know the nature of a tiger. It's ferocious. It's a grand creature, but I don't know. From a distance, I will take pictures, but I don't want to go near a tiger because you understand why is your left hand and left leg is not there. I tried to embrace a tiger and pulled out of my the left side of my body. You have a perfect assessment of the tiger. Therefore, there's no surprises. Therefore, it is you have accepted the tiger as ferocious and destructive. Therefore, your assessment is perfect. Therefore, you admire, but there is no hatred. Similarly, a cow is meek and mild, and it cannot become aggressive. I remember the first few visits of Varanasi, I've seen a cow sitting in the center of a sari shop.
Right.
I was shocked. How did it enter these steps and then happily sitting in the center of a shop, sari shop? The cow is meek and mild. It can never become ferocious. A tiger can never become meek and mild. So that is how the nature are. So our relationship with animals is perfect. Therefore, our assessment about animals is perfect. Therefore, our relationship is perfect. There's no surprises. The first stage is awareness. As I mentioned, when you're not able to change anything externally, you are compelled to change everything internally. So first stage is awareness. Second stage is acceptance. This is where your intellect comes into play and make the right choices. See, acute awareness leads to proper assessment, and assessment leads to acceptance. So it is the way acceptance comes in, is the process involved. That is your question. So right assessment, you're using your intellect to make the choices. Awareness leads to the right assessment. Right assessment leads to acceptance. The, we keep highlighting, if you have a difficult relationship with a partner, and I go home and ask my wife, can I have a cup of coffee? And she turns around, you think I'm your maid sitting here waiting for you? You think I'm your executive chef at home? Go make your own coffee and make one more for me also. If the husband's assessment is right, that is my wife, I am in the right place. Imagine, he goes home and he says, darling, I know you must be very tired. I made a nice, flat white for you. He may fall flat because he checks, is it my home? This is not the way my wife treats me. And just an example, my wife makes great filter coffee. I never had this situation, but I'm just saying, she has made a flat white, and he will fall flat. This is not my wife. This is not my. He checks it, and why I'm telling you, where there is right assessment, this is not judgment.
Yeah.
Judgment is, once you made a judgment, you can't come out of it. It's a right assessment. When you make the right assessment, which is analyzing aspects, it is could be work, a relationship. Analyze, she's got 6, 7 qualities, which is wonderful. 2 or 3, which is difficult. I've got 5 good qualities, 5 negative qualities. I'm not a perfect person. Neither is she perfect. But looking into these aspects, I find we are good with each other. We can be good about each other and grow with each other. Therefore, through understanding, through awareness, and with better assessment, I make a refined choice, which is to be with the person. Then I accept her as she is, not what I want her to be. If this happens, I'm telling you, it's a beautiful state to be in. Beautiful. And you can come out of a relationship and go into another one. You can come out of a job and go into another one. But you're carrying the same mind everywhere. My mind has not changed. Environment is slightly changed, but I am the same as I was before. How will my quality of life, how will my choices improve if when I have not improved myself? I am blaming others. That's why blaming others will do nothing. Taking responsibility does everything, changes everything. So, awareness, the assessment, acceptance. Where there is no awareness, how can there be? You will be assessing in a wrong way. So awareness that if I can't change anything externally, I'm compelled to change everything internally.
Right.
I take responsibility for the choices, the thoughts I entertain, the choices I make. Then how do I make better choices? I understand. I assess people. Some people use the word, understand the word assessment in a wrong way. It's not judgmental. A thorough, like you assess the nature of a tiger. It's a beautiful creature, very ferocious. It's so beautiful on a camera or when you visit a safari. But the assessment is it's ferocious, it is dangerous. I don't want to go near them. In Thailand, I'm told you can feed a tiger and all.
Yeah.
But I don't know. From a distance is fine. But I don't want to. You feed a tiger. Suddenly, at that moment, it becomes ferocious. So, our relationship with animals is perfect. But when it comes to our human beings, it's very difficult. When there are tigers among human beings, there are cows among human beings, and we don't. All tigers carry a set nature. You will never find a very compassionate tiger. It sees a beautiful deer and it has almost tears in its eyes. What will how bad I can be if I pounce on the deer, consume the deer, and it tells the deer, chalo, please go, enjoy, play around. You will never gonna find a tiger who's gonna have a think and make a refined choice. Nature of the tiger, whatever it is, it will pounce and have. That's the nature of a tiger. There are tigers among human beings.
Right.
There are deers among human beings. There are cows among human beings. Now we are all tigers portray a certain qualities, but all human beings don't portray a certain quality. One may smile and yet be a villain, they say. What you see is not what you get.
Right.
Yeah? It is. I wish all air hostess when they smile, they are nice. It may not be. I mean, no offense to we got quite a few air hostess who attend our lectures, lovely individuals. But what I'm saying is, all human beings don't portray a certain quality. Each one of us are different. So it is imperative on us to become aware, assess, and then decide. I mean, accept meaning, should I deal with them? Or accept that I don't want to deal with them. So you make a refined choice. George Bernard Shaw, when they asked him, who's the most intelligent person you met in your life? He said, it's my tailor. He said, why tailor?
Yes.
He's the only person who takes fresh measurements every time.
Yes.
Fresh measurements. He doesn't go by the previous measurement. Such a simple thing, Swamiji taught us. This statement can reduce a lot of stress. Because he's the only person who takes fresh measurements every time.
Yeah.
Many of us go with our previous measurement. They would have, that person would have changed. But for me, she's still a negative person or a short-tempered. They would have gone through certain life experience and they become better. They are unselfish now, but I am stuck with my previous judgment of mine of others. That you have evolved in a way that you become open-minded.
Yes.
You're no more a closed, judgmental, restricted person.
Right.
So you have seen, and then, hey, this is wonderful to see that they have changed.
Yes.
This is not the person I met 10 years ago. There's a beautiful statement, people change and forget to tell you that they have changed.
Yes.
For the good or the bad. A person would have changed. They do. Nobody's, they're saying they have changed. But because of your evolution, your awareness, your assessment, your acceptance levels have gone up. Therefore, when you see a certain person, you're happy for them.
Yes.
And at the same time, they have not changed, they have degraded. They've been wonderful, but what happened to them? You're concerned about them. You're not being judgmental, you're concerned. You may even check with them. What's happening? You may check with others. Hey, I hope his or her life, everything is okay. If they need any help, please tell them, we are there to support in whatever ways we can. Because that's your compassion. Because of your acceptance. I'm telling you, so with our evolution, it's like you understand there are tigers among human beings.
Yes.
What do? From a distance, hello, hi. Getting near, no, sorry. And at the same time, I don't have any negativity towards them. We are not putting down a tiger, how cruel you are. You tell a tiger how cruel you are, killing a beautiful deer. It looks at you, waiting for you to be quiet and pounce on you. It's like that. That's the nature of a tiger. A cow keeps giving and giving and giving. Can you imagine? That's the nature of a cow. Cow dung is used. Everything is used in a tiger. Milk is used. Everything is used. It's helplessly gives. That's the nature of a cow. It is so. That's why. With acceptance, one beautiful quality we develop is peace. Now, I put peace above everything else. Peace, mental peace. We have to accept, Sudhaji, many things will happen in life. We may have to forgive some people. That's coming out of acceptance.
Yes.
You may have to be compassionate with certain people. That's coming out of acceptance.
Yes.
You have to enhance your sense of love towards certain people. That's coming out of acceptance. You may have to eventually embrace death. That will also come out of acceptance. Imagine a person has everything and is in denial of that experience. How miserable their life could be. How miserable. I mean, all that I'm saying is, not many are aging gracefully because of non-acceptance. Not many are. Every element of wisdom is there in our country. Bharat, that word, the Sanskrit bhasi rataha means, if you are from this nation, the translation, you are entitled to revel in pure consciousness. You are entitled to experience eternal bliss. If you are from this country called Bharat. I wish, the previous generation, at least they age slightly better.
Yeah.
This generation, I'm saying they're not aging well. Aging gracefully should be the only choice.
Yes.
Growing old should not be a choice. Growing old is,
Yes.
we keep
Absolutely.
highlighting, when you add life into your years, you're aging gracefully.
Yes.
When you add years into your life, you're growing old.
Yeah.
And aging gracefully, the process starts when you're 25, 20,
Yes.
or even 15. You can't think of aging gracefully when you're 65.
Yes.
So much backlog is there. That's when they grow old. Growing old is a sign where you'll find there's no smile, laughter. They even if somebody else is having a good time, too much noise. They become intolerant. They can't enjoy the present moment. Aging gracefully is the only aspect. See, validation in the sense of improving the process is okay.
Yeah.
You need to validate yourself. This is where
Exactly.
you got to be true with yourself. We are doing this discussion, am I giving my 150%? That's all. How the viewers is going to accept it or embrace it or ridicule it, their choice. I have done this is not ego.
Yes.
I have done my 150%. We have selected the right guest for the topic.
Oh my.
And we have done we are doing our best. Outcome is, we have a beautiful word called prasada buddhi. We have done our best. If outcome is his prasad,
Yes.
his gift.
Yes.
When I say gift, we have done our best.
Yes.
And it is not my opinion, it's not your opinion. We are sharing the facts of life.
Yes.
There could be some people, they don't want to accept the facts.
Yes.
What can we do? That's why accept validation. That's why if somebody gives you a certain feedback, which will improve your quality of work, that's fine.
That's fine.
But there's always going to be somebody who will dislike you.
Exactly.
Always.
Exactly.
Anything you do, there'll be somebody who will dislike you.
Yeah.
What can I do about it?
Yes.
And there'll always be some people who will like you. That's life. That's not egoistic statement, but
Not
that
at
I'm
all.
saying is,
Yes.
am I done my best?
Yes.
Next time I'll improve on my best. And if there is a feedback which is constructive, hey, you could have added this point, or this question would have been nice, that's fine.
Yeah.
Maybe this kind of aspect, they give a suggestion, you take it. There are people always who criticize.
Right.
They will, no matter what you do, they'll criticize.
Right.
It is, what can I do about it? Thank you very much. That's it that way.
Yeah.
I'm reminded of one aspect of my guru when he was in his university. He comes from same Chennai. I'm talking about over 75 or 80 years ago in his university. He said about acceptance. One thing he learned, he shared with us, which resonates in my mind, in my memory. On a hot summer day in Chennai, it's hotter and hottest most of the days. 12 noon like that, his English professor called all the students to the center of a sports field, and he threw up his arms and said, "Isn't it a beautiful summer?" All the other students were a bit annoyed. We knew this person was slightly off. Today he is completely off. And Swamiji used to say, he always spoke very wisely, and he was the only person who taking notes. And he said, I took some notes on the day, which is made all the difference. The professor, English professor, told the group of students, he said, the beauty of the summer is its scorching heat. The beauty of the winter is its biting cold. The beauty of the monsoon is that it pours and pours and pours. The beauty of a tiger is its ferocity. Beauty of a lamb is its meekness. Beauty of earth is its vegetation. Beauty of a flower is its fragrance. Beauty of a white man is white skin. Beauty of a black man is black skin. But the white man wants to be tanned. A black man wants to be fair. You want the summer to be cool, monsoon to be dry, winter to be warm. How can that happen? You got to be aware, assess, and accept things as they are, not what you want them to be. A simple learning, but conveys a very profound message. The beauty of the summer is its scorching heat.
Yeah.
Period. Nothing more. You can keep on complaining.
Right.
Beauty of the once a person understands the beauty of the summer, no issue. So that's why we are saying,
Yeah.
finally, one aspect I want to add on within the advantages of acceptance. That's what I know. You were mentioning that advantages of acceptance. Once you develop this acceptance, no individual, no situation or environment can impact your peace, can affect your tranquility. External factors remain external. They have no intrusion into your mind space. The beauty of the summer is its scorching heat. That's it. The beauty of a tiger is its ferocity. Period. So
That is true freedom.
true freedom, absolute freedom, and the when out of acceptance, advantage of acceptance, or the glory of acceptance, you'll make choices which is in the best interest of all. Out of you make the choice in the best interest of all. Then the relationships are solid and progressive. You may not talk that much, but the understanding is perfect. You may not, it's not that you're going on a regular holidays, but being together is blissful. Relationships are solid and progressive. Another beautiful quality with acceptance is rest and sleep are better. You sleep like a baby.
Yeah.
Rest and sleep are better. And finally, you become a great example. Because you live that. You live that. And even that's the grandeur of acceptance. And the even better one is you'll embrace your exit gracefully. My guru used to say, he refers Shakespeare's quote, it's, all the world's a stage, and all men and women are merely players. They have their exits and the entrances. Shakespeare puts it, first puts the exit first. They have all the world's a stage, and all men and women are merely players. They have their exits and the entrances. Our Vedas beautifully highlight, says, as you came into this world, as you cried, the world rejoiced. As you came into this world, as you cried, the world rejoiced. When you leave this world, let the world cry while you rejoice. That satisfaction, that fulfillment of having done what has to be done. You have done it with absolute acceptance. You have mastered the art of acceptance. And as a result, that eventual exit comes. That also is accepted. That's when you take a salute.
Yes.
What a life. What a way to live life. And what a way many of us are living. So let us embrace spirituality. Let us work on ourselves. There's a statement, even in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, Uddharet atmanatmanam. You have to lift yourself by yourself. You are the greatest friend, and you could be the worst enemy to yourself.
Yes.
What spirituality, what Vedanta highlights, what mind and intellect as institution, we say is become a great friend to yourself through acceptance. You are a greatest enemy to yourself through non-acceptance. So our suggestion is acceptance is only choice. Don't give in to non-acceptance.